Hey, so this is going to be for week 1, passage 1 for the Whoop It Up passage. We're going to work through a graphic organizer to help us think about how to write a summary of what we read. So I did the video and you could read the video or you could read the passage with me. And now I'm going to do the graphic organizer. I did post the graphic organizer in our group page. And you do not have to fill out the graphic organizer. This is just to help you write the summary. So you can use the information that I am putting into this graphic organizer, and you can use it to help you write your paragraph summary. So you can either type your summary in a Google Doc and send it to me, or you can write it on notebook paper and just keep it with your packet to turn in. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that on up. 1 second. Not pulling up here. Give me 1 second, guys. All right. Here we go. Okay, so this is the graphic organizer that I am using for you guys while we are doing this. We've used a similar one at school, but now we're going to be using this one while we are doing this. So let me pull this up here. You'll have to be patient. I promise I'll get quicker with this. Okay. So the basic thing, now this is made more for a fiction text. What we read was nonfiction, meaning it was true. It was all something that is real, but we can still use this and adapt it. So the title of our story was Whoop It Up. I'm gonna see if I can actually make our font a little bit bigger for you guys. Okay, I'll deal with that later. I will change the font size for our next video. Okay, so then the characters in our video. Again, this was not a fictional text. So it's not characters in the sense of, you have your main characters and things like that happening. But there were important people and important things in our story that we read. And the one, I'm thinking of two actually, two of the main characters or people that it talked about or things that it talked about was the whooping crane, the bird, and then getting his name, it was, I believe, Joe Duff. I'm going to go back in my passage, which this is going to pause your screen here. I'm going to go back in my passage and double check. Yes, his name was Joe Duff. So see, you guys can go back in your passage and look if you guys are forgetting details. So Whooping Crane and Joe Duff are the main characters. Okay, what happens at the beginning of the story? Well, again, this is more an informational text, but we can still tell what's happening at the beginning, what's happening at the end, middle, what's happening at the end. So at the beginning, it just tells us that there is a scientist who is works for the migration company, and they help to train these whooping cranes to fly down to Florida. So they actually dress up. They get in some kind of lightweight aircraft, like a lightweight airplane that supposedly looks like one of these birds, and it teaches the birds where to fly so that way they can continue living and be safe and not go extinct. So in the beginning, I will say Joe Duff is a scientist who works to keep the whooping crane And I should be capitalizing whooping crane because that is the actual proper name of the bird. Okay, so then in the middle of the story, hold on one second. I'm going to go back to my screen here, and I'm going to pause us for 1 minute so I can get that pulled up. Okay, so I am not going to be able to share both, but I will bring up our summary page again, and we will keep working on this. So then it goes on to talk about how these birds used to be endangered. So we can add that as something that happens in the middle of the story. So, there I go, not capitalizing it in. The whooping crane used to be endangered. The United States and Canadian government are working to keep the birds safe. Okay. And then at the end it talks about so they teach them how to migrate, and because of that their numbers are improving and they are not going extinct. It talks about how they fly over 5 different states to migrate south. It talks about the migration that they follow. So I'm just going to kind of summarize this. Again, remember, a summary is using your own words to tell what the story or passage was about. So we're just going to give, like I said, it's going to be a quick 4 to 5 sentence paragraph, again, giving what happens in the story or the facts from the story, just kind of summarizing it, telling what it's all about. So in the end, we're going to say the migration group teaches the birds the path to migrate south. They cross over 5 states. Okay, then you can go on to say, you know, the birds learn how to do this on their own, that kind of thing. Either way, you can go ahead and just keep it nice and simple like this. When you actually go to write your paragraph, you can add more detail than what the graphic organizer has. But again, you may send that to me on a Google Doc. Just click the blue share button. Make sure you share it with Amy Klein, C-L-I-N-E. And then that way I will get your summary if you choose to type it. If not, you may write it out on notebook paper or on whatever paper you have at home, and you may keep it with your packet, and then you can turn it in with your packet. So I will look forward to doing more of these videos, and they will get better, I promise.